What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Heavy Live with Scoop B. I am Brandon Scoop B. Robinson. It's a party when you know someone just got out of practice and they are already eating and getting ready to the next meeting. Claressa Shields, the legend. What's going on?
Training, man. Down here in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
What is in Albuquerque, New Mexico?
My MMA training. I just got done with jiu-jitsu
Uh-huh.
training and clinching training, wrestling, and later on I have kickboxing. So just getting a whole bunch of work in all day.
What are you eating?
I'm eating a fishbowl. For those who don't know, I've been a pescatarian for over a year. So I haven't had any steak, chicken, turkey. I don't really mess with milk, anything for about a year. So I only eat fish.
Every time we talk on the record, you're eating. Last time I talked to you on the podcast, Scoopy Radio, you were eating bang bang shrimp.
It had to be bang bang fish because I'm allergic to shrimp.
Then it was you were at Bonefish Grill.
Yeah, bang bang fish. Mm-hmm.
You signed with PFL. I'm not messing with you. You already were lethal with your hands. Now you get to use your feet. Is this like a hood dream?
No, it is quite the opposite. Like, I just want to go down in history as like one of the most dominant combat fighters in history. I'm already the greatest female boxer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm already top 10 as far as in overall pound for pound.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm just want to solidify my legacy by having the MMA belts and fights under my belt. And I think MMA is just taking it a step higher. Like, yeah, people say, oh, I can beat her with the hands or they can do whatever. But now we got knees and we got clinches and we got throws and we got chokes and all that kind of stuff. And it just makes you be more of a dominant, human being. So that's kind of what I want to do.
So, me and you, we talk about basketball. And so when you look at The Last Dance, you look at Michael Jordan. And Mike went from baseball. He retired the first time, went from baseball back to basketball, right? Mm-hmm. And that's a transition. In the same vein, is there a transition from boxing to MMA?
Huge transition. In boxing, you more train your body to just strengthen its left and strengthen its right. And that's what you do. But when it comes, and you run, you do the workouts, you get your legs stronger, and you can kind of focus on that. But when it comes to MMA, it's a lot more technique behind it as far as in mixing all these different martial arts together to make it be one, to make it play out to be one. Like, you can be the best jiu-jitsu professor or specialist, but you get in there with somebody who got a good right hand and you get caught with it and you get knocked out. So you don't even get to put your jiu-jitsu to practice because you didn't have to use it. It's all about knowing that you can use something if it's needed, but knowing how to use every martial art to your advantage when it's time to be used. So it's way different. It's a lot more technical than boxing. Like, I've been boxing for 14 years and it's not a style that I haven't seen. I can get in the ring with anybody and do very well. Majority of the time, 80%, 90% win. Doesn't matter how big the guy is, how strong he is. Just off my knowledge and skill of boxing, I can beat him. That's how good I am in boxing. But now you talk about MMA, it's so many more things. Like, if somebody can't beat you with the hands, they're like, fuck the hands. We're going to the ground. And they take you to the ground. And you got to know what to do down there too, or else it can get really ugly and nasty pretty fast.
Claressa, I saw you on Instagram training with John Bones Jones.
Yeah.
In the same vein that you made the transition from boxing to MMA, but you're still a boxing head, could you see him making a transition from MMA to the WWE?
I can see Johnny Bones making a transformation from MMA to boxing, heavyweight boxing. That's what I see. I don't see WWE. To me, it's more of like a clown show, WWE. Johnny Bones is a serious person, especially when it comes to training, and he's teaching. We've had 2 classes to where I spent countless hours with Johnny Bones, and he was teaching me, breaking stuff down that looks so complex, but breaking it down into 1, 2, 3, 4. Breaking it down into steps from the beginning. So I look at him as a serious guy. So if I was to show him what I know in boxing and he showed me what he knows in MMA, I believe that when he learned these simple basics with his hands and how to stand and oh man, I think he would be so freaking dangerous in boxing because he's really just inside that cage. I mean, we all seen it. He's a dangerous guy.
Claressa, would you rather see Laila Ali in a boxing ring or the MMA ring?
Um, it don't matter. I can beat her in both. It don't matter. I'd rather just see her in the ring. That's it. But um, but what I'm not gonna do though, I'm not gonna speak on her to steal my shine. Like I'm the one making this transition. You know, she didn't, like I said, she done a lot in her career. She fought against a soccer mom. She beat him. You know, and she's Muhammad Ali's daughter, so she gets credit for it. Congrats to her. But I'm doing something that no other woman boxer has done successfully, and that's transition to MMA. Be a world champion in boxing, and also go and try to be a world champion in MMA. And I'm gonna do it, and I'm going to do it simultaneously, like at the same time. So once that's done, I don't think it'd be any more arguments about who's the best combat fighter in the world. It'd be hands down myself.
Do you consider Ronda Rousey one of the best? Do you consider her currently the best combat fighter in the world?
Ronda Rousey?
Yeah.
She had her time, but we have Amanda Nunes,
Okay.
who knocked her out. We have Holly Holm, who knocked out Ronda Rousey first. And then we have Amanda Nunes, who knocked out Holly Holm. I kind of feel like it's just the timing of everything. It's so many. And then we have Chris Cyborg, who you can't count out, who Amanda Nunes also beat.
Mm-hmm.
You can't really count out any of these girls. But Ronda Rousey has been retired or just hasn't been fighting for a few years now. So I don't have to give the nod to Amanda Nunes at the moment or Chris Cyborg. One of the two.
You looked at these fights, I'm sure, over the Thanksgiving break. You saw, or Thanksgiving long weekend, you saw Mike Tyson, Roy Jones. You saw Nate Robinson. You saw Jake Paul. Which fight were you more entertained by?
Come on now. I was entertained by Mike Tyson and Roy Jones. Of course. Just to see how Mike Tyson still used his angles and shift his weight with his power and was really trying to hurt Roy Jones.
Mm-hmm.
To see the speed that Roy Jones still had on his hands. Like the legs weren't there.
Mm-hmm.
The hand speed was there. Imagine if you would have had both, you know? I wish I could have seen these guys fight in their prime.
Yeah. I believe you're such a student of your craft. It's just like with athletes that were born in the 90s, they can talk about Mike, but until they saw Last Dance, they didn't see what Mike really did. Maybe not even caught him on the Wizards. So when you talk about Mike like that, it's interesting to hear your perspective about him as well.
Yeah, he did. To me, he did great that fight, and I thought he should have got his hand raised as the winner. It wasn't a draw.
We know that.
Okay, making sure, because people were like, "Oh, you really think it's a draw?" Because I was cheering for Roy Jones because that's my guy. Honestly, like,
right.
I rock with Roy Jones. He done commentated my fights. He took pictures of me and my whole family. He's a really nice guy. And you know, from Mike Tyson, he kind of just praises Laila Ali because she's Muhammad Ali's daughter. When it's like, dude, you probably never even seen her fight, and I know damn well you haven't seen me fight. So how could you say who's the best fighter if you haven't watched none of us fight?
Why does Jake Paul think he can beat you?
I don't know what's up with Jake Paul, but I want to tell Jake Paul I'm not the one to fuck with. That's all I want to tell him. Like, hey, my man, I'll get in there with you gladly. We can give all the money to the Flint water crisis and give out water and everything. But man, I will put a hurting on that boy. He feeling real confident because what he did to Nate Robinson. But the truth is, Nate Robinson team needs to be held accountable for that performance because why is he in the ring after 2 months of training? And I don't think he ever sparred. So that was his first time ever getting hit. And then he's in there with no headgear. Like, Jake Paul ain't got no skill. Now, you talking about power. Anybody got power against somebody who don't have no experience, who don't know how to block or, brace. But Jake Paul know what's up with me. Do not play with me because if Triller's in that contract with them dollars, I'm signing and I'm going to show up. And he know Claressa. He ain't met Clarenzo yet. And Clarenzo don't play that shit.
Help me understand something. I'm genuinely asking. Before I sat down with you, I called my uncle Kev. He's a boxing fan, and his perspective is body type, women versus men. And I said to him, I'm not sure on that. I said, when you look at women basketball players versus men, like, do you think one-on-one can a woman that's a WNBA player beat an NBA guy? He says he feels that that's different versus a woman boxer and a man boxer. Do you think body type plays a part in it, gender plays a part in it, or experience?
As in what?
Like, Jake Paul is not a professional boxer. He is a guy that trained, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that there are, I guess my question is, do you think for him as a YouTube boxer or a guy who transitioned into boxing, he's good? Do you think he could actually get in the ring with professional boxers, man or woman?
He can do what he want to do.
Okay.
As far as in that, but he will not. It's certain levels to it. If he get in there with a beginner boxer, right, who don't have any experience, he has a chance to beat them. He gets in there with an A, B, or C fighter, he's gonna lose.
That's real.
And it doesn't matter male or female. Now we're talking about female size does matter when it comes to females. See, guys are a lot stronger when they're smaller. They had a size. Now if Jake Paul was to get in there with a girl that weighed 130, 145, even a 150, he'd probably do easy with her. But it also depends on which girl.
Sure.
But he getting there with me, who walk around at 175.
Right.
And I got titles at 154, 160, 168, and I'm an A+ fighter. He don't stand a chance. It doesn't matter whether I'm a female or not.
Right. That's real.
But body types don't matter. Like, I'm not gonna go on there and say, oh, he weighs 185, I weigh 168. Let's go blow for blow. I'm gonna use my knowledge because I've been in there with guys who are bigger than Jake Paul, and I'll beat up on them. So when he come out there and he don't know, he bring his jab back too slow after he jab, and he get countered with a right hand, then it's gonna be a problem. You know what I mean?
That's
then
real.
you talking about he's trying to throw his hook, and he ain't throwing. He throw his hook, he bring his hand down, or he throw his right hand, he bring his hand down. He gonna get hit with a hook, hit with a right. That's where my skill will come in at. And I also have size, and I have leverage and power, which makes me a better fighter than him also. So it's not like you get in there with somebody who don't know how to jab, who don't know. And then also too, and if he too strong for me, as they say, too strong, he's a man, I'm gonna hit him in his body and I'm gonna take that power from him. Him being an inexperienced fighter, those body shots gonna lead up. I don't have to hit him in the head.
Right.
He throwing, I'm gonna get down there, take that body from him, and then once he get tired, then I'm gonna come up and start smacking him in the head, and then he's gonna go down. So, see, that's what I'm saying. Experienced fighters.
Sure.
I don't have to go in there and punch him in the face at all. I can punch him in his body and break him down, and then come up to the head and finish him. That's what experienced fighters can do. But when you talking, and that's AD and C.
Right.
So Jake Paul don't stand a chance against me, no matter what he say or like what he tweet. Him being a man, this would be the perfect time to prove that the world is changing. We're not getting there and whoop Jake Paul's ass to show them, first of all, women can box 3 minutes, for one. Second of all, just because a man is stronger than a woman or he's bigger doesn't mean he's going to beat her. Just to be able to prove that in this generation here will do a lot for women's boxing moving forward.
A birdie told me there's a documentary about you coming out.
Yeah, it's a Universal Studios movie, and Ice Cube playing my coach, my former coach, Jason Crutchfield. Ryan Destiny is playing the young Claressa Shields, and it's a lot of other actors in the movie. So just exciting for that. But Ice Cube by far is one of my favorite people that I've met by far.
I'm excited for you. I'm excited for your future. I'm excited for what you got going on. And I'm proud of you as always.
Thank you.
You're welcome, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Yep. And for everybody, just to make sure, I'll be having my MMA pro debut in May or June with the PFL. Make sure you guys tune in. And I also have a boxing match coming up in February. Make sure you guys tune in also. I have that announcement for you guys in about another week or so.
February
boxing match. Yes, sir.
She's doing it all. Proud of you, girl.
Yep. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll talk to you.
Yep.